All right, tribe, how you doing again? Mr. Hall, uh, showing up on your screen once more. Author, founder, artist, conscious systems architect, literal death survivor, ethical, kink and taboo, creator and educator. So titles are relevant. I'm here to give you some perspective, perception, context, and possibly provide confirmation for things that you already know or have been intuitively picking up on as we all explore this human experience. And I go by spiritual guide as well, and you remember that you are your best guide. I am because we are, right? So what I've been doing is following this little list that I created, okay? So the number that I was guided to work on today was 11, breaking down into a 2. So something about the numbers 2 and 11, okay? If you are unfamiliar with numerology, do some research or click the link above in the bio and book a session with me. Also, face you guys. Something about the front end, okay? So this can be in relation to any pretend, okay. So I got a lot of messages, channeled spiritual pattern recognition, whatever context, perception, and perspective that you'd like to use to attribute that understanding. And got a lot of messages about what's going on planetarily, okay? So you may be focused more in this time, this current space that we are in energetically, okay, as far as energy, frequency, and vibration. You may be in this space of really giving attention to the planetary alignments, okay? If you are following that, some spiritual circles they do, other spiritual circles they don't. We practice omnism and animism here. Everyone is included. Only requirement is that you let the energy flow. Otherwise, okay. So, what I do see happening though, what I'm being guided to mention is the way that you see yourself, okay, changing. So, big key things, okay? Dealing with dense energies, all right, with this Mercury retrograde coming up and being in Mercury retrograde now during a Scorpio season with the placements of Sagittarius. Okay, so this tug and pull between wanting to take action and then simultaneously, okay, wanting to take action, peace, have fun, pleasure. You may be in this energy of pleasure and peace, okay, and circling back. Yeah, so things coming back to really fine tune, okay, and discern what's going to be best for you. You may be working with practical magic, okay, working with fire magic as well. That may be going on around you. If you've been feeling a pull towards that, that's your confirmation, okay? And I'm also picking up, while working with these dense energies, something very significant about the 1111 portal. It's been coming up so much. You may have been seeing the numbers 1111. You may have been seeing 777 and 333. So there's definitely, depending on where you are in the tribe, everybody's on a different timeline, right? And all interconnected as well. You're in this energy of luck and spiritual divinity, okay? Things being divinely guided for you, because I did get from the astro die, okay? So you may be implementing different strategies or circling back to previously used strategies in your readings or channelings if you work in the spiritual community, okay? Or work within any form of spiritual context, okay? Or applying that to your current profession as well, because a lot of things came up around finances and even relationships, but we'll get into it, tribe. So, all right, something's getting hot as well. I'm picking up the energy of something coming to a head, okay? Something really getting into a space of eruption, okay? So, it's funny the way that I'm being shown this energy. So the energy on one end and one perspective within one context and specific of the group. Remember, this is a worldwide reading for the tribe. So some individuals are going through complete chaos, okay? Because there was energy attempting to be projected from you, almost in attempts to body swap. I'm picking up destiny swap, if you're familiar with that in any specific circles or spiritual circles, but an illusory magic or an illusory programming. I'm picking up MK Ultra as well. Some illusory programming that would leave you in a suggestible state to have you miss out on the enjoyment of your life, your experience, your gift of you to the world, right? This energy of And these things may be coming up. You may be having dreams, okay? You may be astral traveling as well. I'm picking up hacking. I'm picking up cameras, hidden cameras. I'm just picking up so much corruption, right? With the number 11 here. We wrote this a few days ago. But government shutdown in the Western world and exposure of corruption. So there's so much corruption being exposed globally, okay? And this is happening due to the North Node. So it's divinely guided illumination, okay? So you're stepping into this period of illumination, all right? And with the astral die here of the planets, okay? So we have the sun here represented. And this is also significant of other symbols if you're practicing any type of hermetic symbolism and or spiritual practice, okay? And also Jupiter, all right? Which can have different meanings. But how I'm picking this up here is the energy of the situation going on. So something's being illuminated, one, okay, which is confirmed by the 1111 that you keep seeing. So, and good luck surrounding expansion, okay? So you expanding on what's already in place. Because it is a Mercury retrograde, I'm being guided to remind you to structure your creativity just a bit, okay? You free flow, but structure just a bit. Something may be significant about the letters FL, Florida, the state of Florida, okay? So something going on within the state of Florida, some corruption being exposed there, all right? And also we have HUD, HUD, HUD housing, I'm picking up, or Hudson River. So something about a body of water, okay, may also be significant. And I digress. So with all of this corruption being exposed, it's also giving you a space to really look at yourself and how you would like to readdress your core values, your personal identity, ego, okay, and as well as your self-image, maintaining a healthy balance between ego, because ultimately it's attempting to keep you safe. You may be connecting with different energies and you're being reminded, something just came to mind for me to remind you of also, and maybe another confirmation, to recall when working with multiple energies, because some of us are working with both the light, the dark, the in-between, no goods, no evils, right? We're working with energy. It is what it is. It's our path, right? So you may be a life path 7, you may be a life path 11, a master number 11, right? Depending on where you are in these frequencies and timelines of existence. As I say this, 711 on the screen, okay? So very significant about divine alignment. And with this, I'm being reminded to let you know to close specific portals as the planetary energies are being so quote unquote chaotic, okay? All right? You may be getting feedback, commentary, okay? You may be getting positive feedback. So it's just such a good positive energy. What I'm really picking up for you, tribe, is that you are stepping into your North Node if you are not already on your North Node. And if you're unfamiliar with your North Node, this would be your soul path, okay? And we can dig deeper and dig deeper and dive deeper. Dig deeper. Something about that. You may hear that somewhere. As all of my readings, I have subconsciously programmed them to activate your subconscious and bring something to the forefront for you, okay? So there's a key. Also, you're unlocking your third eye, your mind, your psychic abilities, your sensitivities, your pattern recognition, right? Different tools within your vessel are being granted more power. And with this comes more sensitivity. So sensitivity not only emotionally, but sensitivity as an energy, right? You're able to sense and feel energies around you. So nonverbal communication being very big, okay? All right, so something about big aura, something big going on and happening on the 11th, okay? It is a manifestation portal. It can be a bit of chaotic energy, so if you're using chaos magic, that's your time. But then also be aware, because the energies are in Mercury retrograde. So expect a bit of communication delays, expect a bit of technology delays, and that's if that applies to you if you practice within those spiritual circles of understanding that. Anyway, words that came up as well. So projections, we had projections, and I'll circle back and give more, I'll explain more on that for us, elucidate a bit more. So there were projections happening from specific groups, okay? I'm picking up fraud, I'm picking up identity theft, I'm picking up hacking, I'm picking up online escorting, I'm picking up so much different energies happening. I'm picking up a destabilization attempted to be brought and shown and shoved towards you, projected energetically. This may have been through dreams. This may have been in any capacity of human existence you can think, okay? If that resonates at all, this reading is definitely for you, because what I'm picking up is that you are stepping into your north node, okay? You have the sun and good luck all around you. You may have a strong Leo placement, or a Leo sign may be involved. Virgo as well. Yes, Virgo, okay, since we did see that there. And Leo, okay? And we'll get into what area of life that is in a second. And then also you may have a Cancer sign, or a Cancer may be involved, okay? I'm also picking up, there may have been a low vibrational Aquarius, a low vibrational Aries involved. The numbers that are significant are 3, 7, 12, 11, 12 again, so 12, 12. You may have also been seeing 12, 12. You can apply numerically what that would mean for you. And 222, 111, 777, 333. Yeah, and 444. Okay, so you may have been seeing any of those numbers, okay? Okay, someone's name may be Serena, something about on row, okay? You may have also been picking up on a lot of different frequencies coming through your technology, okay? Realizing that beyond what we are seeing in front of us, there is symbolism hidden within all messages that we see and interact with, every moment of every interaction, okay? So, the area of your life being impacted now is pertaining to, well, first, before we go to the area of life. So you're looking at, you're looking at your overall situation. I take back the, let me explain a bit further for us, okay? Or give you imagery for this. So the situation overall is pertaining to yourself, okay? Things being illuminated, all right? So any hidden secrets, any subconscious beliefs that may have been hindering you are being illuminated, and this is surrounded by good luck, good fortune, what propels you forward, okay? And monetary values and prosperous events. I feel that something prosperous on one aspect is going to be happening globally, okay? For all of you watching this video. On the other end, you may get a donation, you may get money to work with, right? Because we did get the 6 of coins, right? Generosity, philanthropy, okay? Charity, kindness, gratification, gifts, material gain, sharing of wealth, but with measured generosity, okay? Favors, especially monetary, all right? So you have some things coming into you. And this is a lot of energy channel for you, tribe. Okay, we're at 12 minutes. So something also significant about the 12th house. So something being removed around any type of perceived restrictions, incarcerations, worries, what's holding you back, these subconscious thoughts, passive aggressive solutions, right? Looking at new ways to solve old problems, okay? So not starting anything new, but looking at new ways to solve old problems, all right, tribe? Now, we covered this situation, right? This is the energy that I'm picking up. The situation is that you're looking at your self-image, your ego, your personal identity, your core values, and your oneness with self and the interconnectedness of all, right? This is focusing on the I am, okay? The root chakra. So really healing and cementing in your foundation, okay? Of experience, of being human, okay? And more, so for those of you that identify as otherwise, but either way, some major changes happening with government due to the exposure of corruption. And this may pertain to self-identity, or what we have been identifying ourselves as being human, what that means, okay? A rise in consciousness, something very shifting about that day. And I did not mean to say the word shifting, so that is significant. We are rising, okay? And gaining a deeper understanding of the self, okay? And with that, as you understand in further context the self, you're going to get space to address the emotional side of things, right? So we had that in Cancer, and we had that in Leo, okay? So fire and water, okay? Fire and water energy. So I'm picking up on a lot of psychic energy again from Cancer, all right, from the Cancer energy, and then we have the Leo here. Also, a Capricorn may have been in the lower vibrational energy that was involved in this situation with you. I'm also seeing a Taurus, Pisces, and Gemini, and Aquarius. Yeah, Pisces, Gemini, and Aquarius, definitively. Okay, so, but the energies that I picked up when rolling the die were Cancer and Leo. So on the emotional side with Cancer, you have emotional, troubling intrapersonal relationships, protective, suppressing emotions, maternal instincts. So there may have been a mother figure that was in a lower vibration, possibly, but okay. I'm going to separate the energies a bit because I'm picking up two distinct timelines for the tribe. So you're either on the timeline that was projecting negative energy, lashing out, having negative context, just feeling weakened, destroyed, defeated, right? Because I did pick up this Nine of Swords here. So just going through some mental strife. So if that energy was being projected to you, you have been protected. I'm picking up by green energies. So that may be significant, your heart chakra. So you've been protected by loving energies, possibly ancestors, interdimensional, interspecies, whichever way you'd like to context it and perspective it and perception it into accordance with this human experience. And the Nine of Swords would represent mental strife, anguish, entrapment, okay? And another symbolism of Gemini. So really getting incorrect information through the mind, okay? So being mentally attacked, okay? Psychically attacked in dreams. This is where I got that earlier, if we digress, when I mentioned it first time. So really clarifying now with illumination, all of the mental constraints that were taking place, okay? Being held within you, all right? All the constraints of energy, okay? And that was Cancer and Leo. So bold, strong emotions, perseverance, taking the lead, craving the spotlight, feeling overlooked, okay? So yeah, that was the energy. It seems that you may have been working with lower vibrational energies that, one, were projecting onto you, and two, that may have been attempting to have you be in this space and state of mind that had you feeling left out. You can't do it. Oh no, too much. Oh my gosh, blah, 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 right? All of these denser, heavier energies, right? They're valuable energies because you've learned how to transmute the energy as well as alchemize the energy, okay? So an in and out, I'm picking up significance around the food chain in and out, not located in Florida, I do not believe, and in other parts of the US, maybe in other parts of the world. So something about beef, okay? So there may have been a projection of beef. So not the literal food that we eat, but beef as in the conflict, okay? So some form of conflict energy being projected your way through individuals that were working with lower vibrational entities in a negative context, okay? Not holding the energy well and being possibly overtaken, possessed. I'm picking up energies of just chaos, right? And that energy, you made it through, right? You've made it through. You've channeled that energy. You've put it into the right space. Okay. Yeah, you're able to see clearly now with me wiping the eyes, okay? Your third eye has opened completely. So there's no sympathy magic, there's no spells. You very clearly know what's happening and going on. I'm going to leave it at that, tribe, okay? But the exposure of corruption through gults, something about the gut, okay? Gallbladder as well, something about the gallbladder. Someone in the comments, if you're seeing this, you can leave where and what zodiac sign would be associated with that for everybody, okay? I'm picking up to mention that. So, you're understanding how you now relate to society, to reality. And if you go down into some of the previous videos, we'll see that we've been talking about this for at least the past month, at least, okay? At a minimum. And while you're re-identifying and recalcifying, okay? So something about calcification of the pineal gland, I'm picking up as well. Something about Three-Eye Atlas, okay, being brought to light, what type of psychological manipulation may have been taking place, okay, depending on where you fall on that, in that perspective, many layers, okay, okay. I'm also picking up rom-coms, so someone may have recently went to engage with some type of romantic energy because I am picking that up a lot. We have the Ace of Cups, okay, all right. The Ace of Cups representing the Lord of the root of the powers of water. Okay, so you're really taking control of your emotional energy with Cancer being here and Leo. So you having strong emotions, following them and allowing them to flow, okay, organically. All right, and then we have cash, funds, and abundance on the bay leaf, okay? So you may be working with bay leaves, you may be tapping into ancestral magic. I'm picking up hoodoo, voodoo, taboo things, right? Perceived taboo things. But you're working with some type of magic, and I'm getting a yes answer for you if you had that question, okay? Now, 7 and 3. So 7th house and 3rd house, okay. The areas of life. Okay, so the third house is going to be representing siblings or hometowns, small excursions, short distances, elementary school, expecting written correspondence. You may be any of these things, expecting written correspondence. These energies that may have been attempting to project onto you may be in a lower mental capacity. We don't mean that in a negative sense, but there is more, right? So warns about whispers or scandals, right? So you may have been dealing with some defamation of character. I do suggest seeking out the correct legal authorities. As we know, there are many layers to this tribe, and for now. And the seventh house, we have represents partnerships, personal or business. A new person in your life may become significant, can relate to contracts, marriage, divorce, or matters of the law. So it looks like, all right, let me think about how much I can say for us. Tribe, I'm picking up that there was some scandalous energy taking place, okay? And that word choice. So some scandalous energy coming through. There was some scandalous energy taking place, and now you're going to be getting correspondence about this. Things are coming to light, because when I originally pulled the cards, we had the Lovers reversed, right? So the projection being that you don't have any love, or no one loves you or likes you, right? And then the Six of Coins, right? Some adversaries, okay? Selfishness, envy, jealousy, ungiving of oneself, bad debts, unpaid loans, condensation, okay? Condescending, right? Condescending energy. And then unhappy with the Sun reversed as well, okay? We had unhappiness, loneliness, broken engagement or marriage, canceled plans, clouded future, lack of friendship. So that was the energy being projected to you, but I was guided to keep that upright because that energy has now been again alchemized and transmuted. I'm also picking up a return to sender energy, okay? So if you did any type of return to sender, if you've done any type of cord cutting, that would be beneficial. If you're unfamiliar with return to senders, if you're unfamiliar with cord cutting, if you're unfamiliar with the traps that can lie in doing either of those things, right? I'm also picking up spiritual marriages, any of these things. Everything's just kind of the energy of getting cleansed out. I'm picking up Salt Bay, okay? Something with salt, okay? So salt being a protective tool as well in specific spiritual communities. But either way, I digress. So the energies wanted you to bring, so things being brought to awareness around hidden lovers, okay? You being out of the sunlight, had things in the subconscious that needed to be addressed, okay? Just feeling alone, feeling isolated, no sunshine, no happiness. I mean, just destructive. All right, long story short, that energy has been placed where it is supposed to be, okay? So now you're going to be in the Lover's energy, okay? The Sun energy, all right? Sophistication, accomplishment, favorable social relationships, love, joy, devotion, engagement, happy marriage, pleasure in daily existence, exuberance, serenity, okay? You've called your power back also, possibly. That may have been something that took place. You did a call back, power, or a ritual to call your power back, okay? And rituals do not literally need to be delving deep into spiritual practices and magics and states of consciousness and awareness. It can be something as simple as you being organized and having mental clarity to focus on what you really want at hand, despite any attachments or vampiric energies. I digress. Something that came up through the channeling as well was the word chupra, or chupa. So someone may be speaking the Latin language, okay? But that means to suck, okay? So this can be in an erotic form, and or this can be the energy of the chupacabra, okay? That film got channeled to me. And you are able to now see where your energy was being vampirically taken from you. And it's called back now, okay? All right, being in balance. You're able to release this energy of burden, doom, gloom. That energy was being projected to you, okay? And now you're stepping into this Lover's energy, right? Getting back into society, being social again, taking your time with this, because again, it is Mercury retrograde. So I'm being guided to remind you to just take your time with this. But there's more. So some type of law correspondence coming through. You may be getting in touch with the law may be getting in touch with you. And this can be universal laws as well, divinely orchestrated laws, getting in touch with your spiritual inheritance, literal inheritances, okay? And we did have the Knight of Swords reverse, which was the overall energy that I picked up, which was incapacity, imprudence, dispute or ruin over a woman, impulsive mistakes, conceited fool, simplicity, disunion, right? This energy, so Knight of Swords, this may be an air sign and a negative vibration, and we did get a few iterations of Gemini, Okay, so someone may also have the Chinese zodiac sign of the horse, with the horse being here. But either way, I'm picking up that you have been protected from some form of evil eye that may have been plaguing you. This may have been a generational curse. This may have been a ritualistic curse. This may have been a moon cycle curse. There's just so many different ways to attack without physically being attacked. Okay, that may have been significant as well. Someone may have went through a physical attack as well, and or been planning it. Some premeditated energies I'm picking up. Long story short, I'm getting that you're in a state of wish fulfillment. You're in this state of wish fulfillment, and then this is the present, okay? And in the very near future, there was this energy being prepped to project Nine of Swords energy to you, okay? This just complete ruin mentally, okay? Just attacks, okay? Betrayals, just heavy energy. But because we had the Ace when they fell on when I was pulling the cards, okay, the Ace of Cups overlapped the Nine of Swords, right? So you moving on from any of that energy that's dense, okay, and stepping into this Princess of Cups energy, irregardless of gender, because in the tarot there's no gender, simply energy, frequency, and vibration. So you can be however you'd like to identify, whatever pronouns you use, if you're even identifying as human, right? So long story short, you're stepping into the Princess of Cups, okay? Really having balance, playing with pleasure, playing with life again, right? Having the capacity to have your heart open, love after love, okay? You're falling back in love with life and reality, and it's falling back in love with you, okay? And Seven of Wands with this valiant energy, really being courageous, stepping into that Leo energy that we picked up. So that's the present. So you're in this valiant energy, right? Being able to express your emotions effectively, maturely, okay? Adequately, all right? And then we have the Lord of Prudence, Eight of Pentacles, right? Knowing where and when to share this wealth that's coming in, because we did have the Six of Coins, okay? So Six of Pentacles, six and eight, okay? So a balance between the material and the spiritual, and this coming in, bringing in more abundance for you, okay? So we're moving forward from the Six of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. So that's a big upgrade, okay? Interesting. Okay, so big upgrades around that. And then we have the Lovers again. So you may be calling in a soulmate. Your energy is vibrating out of love. You may be focused on healing your heart chakra. You may have healed your heart chakra. You're moving forward with your passions, what really brings you joy, okay? Despite any of the implied chaos going around globally, energetically, mentally, all right? You may have also been doing a bit of R&R with rest and relaxation, because we did pick up those short trips when it came to the 7th house, right? Personal or business. No, actually it was the 3rd house. So short distances. So again, with the astral traveling, you may not have been traveling physically, literally, okay? But I am seeing right now the countryside. I'm also seeing short trips in vehicles, okay? Something possibly significant about a picnic, getting back in nature again. And specifically, emphasis on cash funds and abundance, okay? Coming back to you. Anything stolen is being returned. And we also have 3 E's, so very significant. Someone's name may have an E in it, okay? The east side of town, the E, okay? Something about Emmy, okay? Emmy, so you may be getting an award, all right? So possibly spiritually being celebrated, and also on a physical, practical level. If you're graduating or if you're doing anything in school, you've ascended to another level, okay, of depth. And AH, okay, so those letters and initials may be significant. If you're familiar with it, I'm sending a message to someone that I know that represents this. But anyway, AH may be significant. Aha moments as well, okay? And going back onto the global scale of the energy, okay? So that was for us, tribe. Depending on where you are on the karma and dharma side of perspectives, you're either going to be in very good karma, very good dharma, right? Which this is the energy that I'm seeing us be in, versus karma for some type of illusion, some type of projection, some type of chaos magic, some type of MK Ultra, some type of mind control attempts, psychological abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, okay? So that energy is being sent back to where it belongs, and we're detaching from any type of trauma and any, heavy things like this. And what I wanted to mention as well was that this 1111 energy is going to be showing collectively on a global scale so much corruption, okay, that is going to be undeniable, okay? All right. something that is going to be undeniable about some hidden relationships, contracts, okay, deceptions. You may also be ending a contract with any specific energies, entities, groups, not so secret societies, okay. All of that is just okay. Now, not to say that every society, called gang, mafia, cartel is completely negative. All right, these are just groups of energies, possibly as well, groups of people, individuals, what they're aligning with. All right, but the corruption within those groups, government, corporations, all being wiped away. All right, and we also have wholeness and complete. You may not be able to read that, but wholeness and completeness. Okay, so you're it's reflected in the bay leaves as well. So you're in this emotional completeness, all right, with this Ace of Cups. Okay, so that's like emotional fulfillment. All right, you have the truth. You've met your emotional truth. You're in your North Node, and then we have with the cash funds reaching the 6 and 8 of Pentacles. Okay, this is good energy. So really being prudent with your next steps, possibly thinking, picking up foundation, thinking about what your best next steps will be as we all go through these changes, and implementation of new technologies and systems and ways of understanding ourselves and the world, okay? Very, very nice. You may be tapping into a bit of abstract thinking, but I'm being reminded to let you know to stay grounded, okay? So there may be some type of change that is caused by this aha moment, okay? And 333, so you may be a master number 33 if you associate in specific spiritual circles. The number 33 is associated with a master masonry, okay? Masonry, all right? That's public information. Go look it up online, okay? And or connect with me in a reading and we'll channel more about it. But and EI, IE, okay, so extraterrestrial information as well, extroverted information, okay, MI, me. Okay, I'm also picking up Greek languages. I'm also picking up Polish languages, European energies. So something about urination, releasing any toxic waste, okay? Releasing any toxins from the body, okay? Something about being able to cleanse that, okay? I'm picking up the name Duh. Something about Duh. Something is very clear for you. Duh. D-U-H. Duh. Someone may use that language, okay? A duh. Someone may say a duh. Interesting. A duh, Florida. Some type of evil intentions being exposed, okay? You just don't get evil, but yeah, evil intentions being exposed. Something to do with an X, possibly with the name of T, okay? Something to do with T, illicit substances or drug use, okay? Something to do with the X, okay? That may have been in a rom-com. I'm not sure if anyone's in the film industry or entertainment industry, so this can be adult publications. This can also be within entertainment, media. All right, but some evil intentions being exposed. Okay, yeah, definitely on the 11th, all right? And you're being reminded to remain centered, balanced, and in Zen when this information comes out further. If you are part of the tribe, you are possibly already aware of this, and there may be more to come, okay? But, yeah, you're right about something. There's a completion. Yeah, you're right about a completion. You're right about a completion, okay? Yeah, some type of psychoanalysis around immortality and alien species, okay? So this can be, interdimensional energies, extraterrestrial energies, unidentified aerial phenomena, and also alien as in foreign to a country, place, foreign to yourself. That energy of feeling foreign to yourself is dissipating, okay? It's been cleared out. Something about snaps, something about being celebrated, possibly going to some type of speakeasy, some type of exclusive club, exclusive energy, right? I'm also picking up, exclusive invite, okay? EI, that can also be it. Exclusive invite, be aware, read the fine print between the lines, okay? What's said and what's not said, the energy, the frequency of everything coming into you, okay? You know what I mean, tribe. But you're being guided to remember this Om energy. You may be connecting with the Ascended Master within spiritual circles. The Buddha is represented as a spiritual master, and you may be guided to mention the words Om and or tap into that frequency, okay? You may be listening to frequency music, okay? Yeah, you may also be picking up on what these groups or this corruption and all of these things going on worldwide that may have been draining or attempting to drain your energy. But we did say that you're now able to recognize where the energy leaks are within yourself and where there are no spaces to get into your aura, your energy, and your frequency. So this is really good, really protecting yourself spiritually and energetically. Okay. So tribe, yeah, this was a bit of a different reading if you've been following along. Okay, so we had Florida. Okay, something about the right. I'm picking up legal, right and left. Okay. Okay. Right and left fighting. Okay. Your right, left. Okay. So you may be fighting something emotionally that you know mentally, or vice versa, that may have been going on for a while, and you're separating away from that. Okay, excuse me, spiritual burp, spiritual release, confirmation for us, okay? If you're unfamiliar, spiritual burp would actually represent a spiritual release. I say this in every video. Surprisingly as well, tribe, if you've been keeping up, it didn't happen at the beginning of the video this time. Anyway, okay, so something about he took, he too. Okay, something about, okay. So I'm picking up an extraterrestrial HO, extraterrestrial ho. Okay. Ethereum. Okay, so there may be something going on around Ethereum or cryptocurrencies. And we did pick up. I'll hold off on mentioning that for now, tribe. Okay. There were things picked up about changes to our financial systems that are very heavy, but we need to make sure that's declassified information. Okay. I'm also picking up drunk, DK, DU, Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. These are places, items, people, things that may be related to the Scrabble letters, okay, that I'm seeing. All right, something about Othello, Theo, other. Okay. So again, back to these secret, not so secret societies, okay? Something very significant about these energies being exposed, okay? I'm picking up narcissism, sociopathy, psychopathy, just very, the energy that I picked up is that individuals may have been forced to do things against their will, as they have been sacrificed, and or they would have been sacrificed, and or they're cursed. So, and I'll put it in perspective for you. Let's say vampiric energies, they are forced to be parasitic, as if they don't have a host, they would not be able to maintain existence within these realms, okay? And we'll look at that vampiric, parasitic nature as being a part of being a vampire, right? Being within that organization, those groups, that way of thinking, that lifeline, that bloodline, right? Significance there, okay? So we'll be getting more information on these things collectively, okay? Let me get one more message. Okay. Yeah, we definitely have Jupiter, okay? So you may be working with Jupiter energy, all right? Some really good luck. And the number 444, wherever you see that next, that's going to be another message for you to activate your subconscious and wake up to different levels of awareness, okay? All right, I'm also picking up A&E, EA Sports, the games, video games. So things changing within technology, big, very big things changing within technology. I'm picking up this 11th energy. So changes to finances globally, changes to the forms of currency globally. I'm also picking up changes to the way that we are entertained, okay? What you may find entertaining as well, all right? The letters F and H, the letters L and R. These can be licensed, well, let me keep it simple for your tribe. These may be, so a license, so licensing and rights may be changing globally, okay? Okay, yeah, AI, artificial intelligence, being linked to extraterrestrial intelligence, non-human intelligences as well, all right? We may be waking up to that collectively. Someone says hi, okay? From the right or from the altar, okay? Something about an altar. This can be an altar of study, an altar of spiritual practices, an altar of sciences, right? Apply the context where you need to, but you are getting the key. If you're seeing an imagery of a key, I'll be sending that to you telepathically. We can do a little test drive. I'll be sending you a telepathic message of a key, and you describe the shape and view of these keys. Okay, all right. All right. I'm also picking up Nova Scotia, so Canada. All right. All right. All right. So the Om says hi. Okay, whatever that means for you, that may be a significant message for someone, tribe. The Om says hi in AI. Interesting. Okay. I'm also picking up a xylophone. Okay. Do you wait? Okay, something significant about pay way, but also, so paying your way, are you able to pay your way forward? Okay, when we pick up on those energy vampires, so ritual sacrifices are coming up, but either way. Let's see. I'm also picking up now the Asia continents, okay, the eastern part of the world. Okay. Okay, so there's going to be some good changes coming for you, tribe. I'll just leave it at that there. What I picked up, that one's a little... Okay, something about whey protein as well. Because I'm seeing whey as this. WEI, okay? But I'm picking up, can you pay the way? Do you have the feed? Do you have the knowledge? Have you connected? Were you able to connect with the correct energies? Yeah, it's a surname. So someone may have that surname if you're watching from any of those countries. This looks like this. I'll show the symbolism. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm picking up Whey Industries for some reason. Wikipedia. All right, I'm being guided. I may need to pause on. Okay, so greatness. Wei has multiple meanings depending on the context. Most commonly referred to a Chinese given name or surname with meanings like greatness, power, or guard. Yeah. Okay. Also taking some type of... Okay. It can also refer to the smallest unit of ether in cryptocurrency, the concept of wu wei, effortless action in Taoism, or Mandarin word for hello when answering the phone. All right, so that all interconnects. Okay. All right, tribe. So I'm going to leave it at that to be more clear and give more context. So Wei would be a surname, right? It may relate to power, greatness. Okay, you are getting a hello from the divine. Okay, you may also be getting a hello through artificial intelligence, information technology. There's going to be a hello happening on the 11th, or possibly in relation to your 11th house. You're going to be experiencing some really good moments and protection. Okay, lucky gifts, connection with people, sharing bounty and prosperity. Okay, I'm leaving it there, tribe, depending on where you find yourself on the karmic wheel. But anyway, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay, click the link above to check out all of my products and services, different dimensions of myself. Click over to the shorts. Been working with AI to release some subconscious information as well as provide confirmations for instant confirmations there. As the posts here are meant to be more of a video sit down and watch the whole thing format, okay? And then click the videos below, as there may be other relations to this video, okay? Okay, so I'm picking up the imagery of a bee and connecting the dots, okay? So B dot, that may be significant for someone. Okay. I'm done channeling. I have to stop it sometimes. It loves to go. All right, tribe. Abracadabra, Anakamun. So mote it is, so mote it be, as above, so below, as within, as without. I will see you next time, okay?